Hello everybody and welcome back to Grappler Man's videos. I thought I would take a little trip out to the defeated Titan Taranis and see what's going on out there in the salvage yard. So here we go. We're going to take a quick trip. I noticed that on the way out there was no interdictions. I had no encounters of any kind on my first trip out there. And I'm sure that's probably going to be the case for all of us. As we get ready to enter the cloud, there still is corrosion, but it has greatly diminished in terms of intensity. So the trip in usually takes about 2 minutes. This time it took me about a minute, so here I have it sped up at 4 times the speed. I didn't encounter any of the mines. I didn't get in, obviously no pulses. And so once we got in, you can see the debris field. So for the next couple minutes, if you don't want to watch, you can fast forward, but I'm going to just show you some of the debris that's in here. It's going to take about a 2-minute turn, and you'll notice that Taranis is not doing too well. He's kind of had a problem. Pieces of them everywhere. It's pretty much littered with all kinds of things that you can pick up and grab. I did this in a solo, I believe, but you can still see there are people in there. I'm sure that there are going to be some people in there that don't wish you well. So if you're going to go in here, I would suggest you go in private group or solo or with some backup. Anyway, you can see there are debris pieces. I was able to take my little Diamondback all the way through. While we're doing this, I got to pause here. Just try to remember to subscribe and like and comment. I really want to get on track to get up to 500 subscribers, and I do have some good content, over 107 videos on how to play Odyssey. But back to the task at hand. So here we are. I'm going to make a quick rundown of the materials that I found. Now, granted, I may have missed a few things because this was the first time I went in and I was really more engaged in trying to take down the second Titan. So I made this a quick trip. But in the process of going through here, I did manage to find quite a few different elements. I do want to point out that there are some, dead Cyclopses here. I'm going to try to scan that the next time I come in here and see if it works. I did use a Diamondback. I put research limpets, recon limpets, collector limpets. I had 2 caustic sinks with extended ammo. When I modified the ship and went back the second time, I put 3 on there. I would recommend that highly. But you'll notice as we go through here, there's a lot of samples that you can collect, and then you can see them showing up here as I encountered them. Obviously, I picked them up. It's important that you have a caustic cargo rack. Some of these things are materials that you can actually put into your cargo hold, and some of these are things that are materials. I recommend an abrasion blaster instead of a laser. You won't need to cool your ship down because you're not going to be hiding necessarily from adversaries, but an abrasion blaster would be useful because you get more chunks every time you use an abrasion blaster on these things. The one thing you do need to pay attention to while you're floating through this area are your caustic damage, and there are some scouts and a Cyclops or 2 that may be on patrol. Most of the time you can just avoid them, but just be prepared. You're not going to be completely on your own. Some of these materials will be floating around that you can obviously pick up. Some of the materials will be on the actual Titan debris as you're going around. Now, I did test the P-Wave scanner, and normally it makes things show up green on the Titan, but in this case I did not see that effect. Now, it could have been my computer, but I didn't see that effect. So when I found things, I found it by just looking at it closely. So this could be an intentional thing on Dev's part by hiding something that we're going to find later. I intend to go back later this week and check it more thoroughly. But again, there are lots of things you can shoot off with the abrasion blaster, which makes it a useful tool to have on your ship. And you can see In just a quick run through of this area, I was able to find quite a few different materials. Some I'd seen before and some I hadn't seen before. I'm going to assume that later on we're going to be using these materials for various builds. I'm kind of half wondering if we need these materials to enable us to make the new ship stealthy using Thargoid technology. I don't know. I have no idea. But I know we're going to have to use this stuff. So there's a list of the things that I found in my first time in there, and I'm sure there's probably other things that I missed. But now, with my cargo rack full of stuff, I am going to head on out. I hope you find this useful. But I will be back again, and I will be doing a little more thorough investigation of this as time goes on. But in the meantime, I'm going to head on back to Ligon and be involved with this destruction. This Thargoid stuff is wrapping up, and I really want to be a part of it. I hope to see you commanders out there. Fly safe, and until I see you again, Grappler Man out.